Hello, good evening, ma'am.
Hello, good evening.
How are you, ma'am?
All good. Thank you, Banu.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Kshima, ma'am. Just I will
Sure.
call her.
Yeah.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kshema. I'm the host for this evening. We also have Dr. Shobha who has joined us. Hi, Shobha. Good evening.
Hello. Hello, Shiva. Good evening.
So, do we have anyone who is attending an ELTAI webinar first time? If so, please type first in the chat box. Anyone who is attending first time? Oh, okay. All right. Welcome to ELTAI webinars. Those of you who are attending this the first time, welcome to ELTAI webinars. This webinar is also special because this is the first webinar or the inaugural webinar of ELTAI Special Interest Group called Learning Technology. This is Learning Technology Special Interest Group's first webinar. So welcome, that's a special welcome. Dr. Shobha and I are members of this special interest group, and I'm sure some of our executive committee members are also here. Those of you who would like to join the special interest group, please join ELTAI first. Anyone who is not an ELTAI member, I would actually strongly urge everyone to be a member of ELTAI first. Good evening, Manoj. So if you're not a member of ELTAI, may I also strongly urge you to be a member of ELTAI because yes, the special interest group, Dr. Patel, you can join the Learning Technology Special Interest Group once you are a member of ELTAI. So if you're a member of ELTAI, let me definitely share the link with you for the special interest group. What I've shared in the chat box is a form to join the special interest group only, but you have to be a member of ELTAI first. So please join ELTAI first. I will also share. Banu, you are here, right? Banu, can you share the link to join ELTAI if you have that readily available?
ELTAI member, ma'am.
Link, yeah, membership. Yes, membership form. Yes.
Okay, I will share it, ma'am.
Yes, yes. So once you are a member of ELTAI, it is joining the special interest group called Learning Technology is just one step away. That's it. Okay, yes. So Dr. Banu, since you are a member, yeah, many of you are members, I'm sure. Yes. So please use the link the short URL that I shared, and you can fill up that form and be a member of this special interest group called Learning Technology. Thank you. Thank you for your interest. Let's also hear how familiar you are with gamification. Can you share a thumbs up, react with a thumbs up if you have used gamification in your classroom? Oh, great. Oh, good. That's very good. Those of you who have not used gamification in the classroom, can you react with a clap maybe? Yes? Can you react with a clap emoji? Okay. A clap. Ankita, we'll take questions at the end of the sessions. Anita, is that okay? You put in your questions in the chat box, Anita. And anyone, yes, so I think I will have to pin the link, no, so that everybody can. I'll share the special interest group link again, and I'm going to pin that so you get it. I'm also going to pin the ELTAI membership form. Yes, that's all. So you have both the ELTAI. So please be a member of ELTAI first and then join the special interest group. Yes, Mr. Babu Rao. Oh, great. Dr. Patel, our first member from this webinar. Thank you, Dr. Jinali Patel. Good to have you all on board. Thank you for joining. Right, let's do this again. Who's used, those of you who've joined who just joined the webinar, give us a thumbs up if you've used games or gamification in the classroom. Have you, anyone who has used gamification in the classroom or games in the classroom? People who haven't used gamification in the classroom, do send us a clap emoji. Dr. Tiwari, yeah, could you put your questions in the chat box, please? The admin has muted our mics, which is why. So please put your questions in the chat box. I'm reading the chat box. So, we will start in another couple of minutes time. So before that, I would like all of us to think about one moment. Those of us who are classroom teaching practitioners, those of us who are classroom teachers, I would like us to take a moment and think about when our students were most engaged in a learning task. Close your eyes and think about when were they most engaged in a learning task, and why do you think that particular moment worked? So, understanding that will also give us a larger perspective and help us examine how AI-powered gamification can intentionally design such moments. Think about when were your students most engaged in the class, and during this session, Dr. Shobha is going to tell us how we can, with a purpose and intentionally, create such moments in our classroom. Yes, that's right, Dr. Patel. When it is interactive, definitely our students are very engaged. Okay, Shandini, you are unable to open the short URL. I am not sure why, because many seem to have already opened it. Let me share with you the longer link. Maybe that will.
They can refresh it, ma'am, link, so that it can be. Yeah,
Okay,
they are.
yeah.
It might be technical issue.
Okay. So could you please try that then, Shantini? Can you refresh the link, the page, and see if you can do that? Otherwise, we'll share it again. When students do a task, that's right. In audio-visual classes, yes, you see how multimodality engages them a lot when it is interactive and engaging. That's right. Yes, so it's not just using technology, but also encouraging or allowing them to make their voices heard. That's right. When there is group work, yes, and then when there are visuals involved. So yes, lots of aha moments for us in the classroom where we realize our students are most engaged in the learning transaction. So we're going to look at a session like that. We're going to look at one possible opportunity like that we can create in our classrooms. It's 6 now. Banu, would you like to play the video?
Yes, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Thank you, Banu. So that was a brief introduction to English Language Teachers Association of India, the activities, the publications, the projects, the things, the various activities that are done by the association. I have also put the website in the chat box, and there is an email ID at which you can send in your queries if you have any queries. And good evening again to everyone who is just joined. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, dear participants. Here are some general instructions, the conduct related instructions for the webinar. Your camera and mic are muted by the admin. So please post your questions, comments, queries, suggestions, and all in the chat box. Feedback form will be provided at the end of the webinar. Links will be shared in the chat box. So the feedback form, you will receive the feedback form at the end of the webinar. E-certificates will only be issued to school, undergraduate, postgraduate students, ELTAI members, and foreign nationals. Like at the beginning, I was telling you, PhD scholars especially, but all of us, I would strongly urge you to take ELTAI membership, and after that membership to the Learning Technology Special Interest Group. Because if you have to avail those various benefits that the video just showed, it really pays to be a member. It's a good idea to be a member. The certificate, the links for your certificates will be shared again at the end of the webinar. And please remember that the process of sending you the certificate will take at least 10 working days. And for any queries, of course, there is the www.eltai.in, the website that I've shared, and please send your queries to info@eltai.in. At the end of the webinar, the admin will enable you to open your videos. So, turn on your videos. So please stay back for a group photograph. Don't miss that. So, Dr. Rajesh is here. Good evening, Dr. Rajesh. So we're going to, let's start now. Good evening again. On behalf of the English Language Teachers Association of India, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the inaugural webinar of the newly formed Learning Technology Special Interest Group, or SIG, as I was talking about at the beginning, under ELTAI. The overarching focus of the Learning Technology Special Interest Group is to explore, discuss, and disseminate how technology is transforming language learning and language teaching across various contexts. Through webinars, discussions, collaborative projects, and teacher-led initiatives, the SIG aims to create a vibrant space for dialogue, professional learning, and innovation. We warmly invite all interested participants to join the SIG and be a part of this exciting and evolving journey. The link to join the SIG is already pinned in the chat box. Now, coming to today's webinar. Today's webinar focuses on a timely and highly relevant theme, AI-powered gamification in ESL classrooms, and how intelligent game-based pedagogic designs can enhance learner engagement, motivation, and meaningful language use. And who better to talk about this than our distinguished speaker, Dr. Shobha. It's my privilege to introduce Dr. Shobha KN. Dr. Shobha KN is an associate professor in the Department of Education and currently serves as the Associate Dean Academics at NITTTR, Chennai, an institution deemed to be university under the Ministry of Education, Government of India. She holds a PhD in English and is a UGC NET JRF awardee, in addition to being a gold medalist in MA Education. With over 15 years of distinguished experience, Dr. Shobha's work spans emerging pedagogical trends, language education and research, teacher training, instructional design, and academic publishing. Prior to her current role, she served as an assistant professor of English and later as the deputy director at the Center for Research, Anna University, Chennai. Dr. Shobha has designed and coordinated SWAYAM courses such as Communication Skills in English and English for Research Paper Writing. She's also served as a co-instructor in other national MOOCs. She is the author of several books focusing on English language learning across the curriculum, particularly in engineering and arts and science contexts, and has offered curriculum consultancy to higher education institutions. She also holds editorial roles in international journals. Her accolades include the UGC Junior Research Fellowship Award, the British Council ELT Research Partnership Award, the Rotary Club's Innovative Teacher Award, and a recent Best Paper Award. Dr. Shobha is widely respected for her work in empowering educators through research-driven teaching, content development, and experiential pedagogy. We are honored to have her with us today. Dr. Shobha, we're delighted to welcome you and look forward to your webinar.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shima, for that wonderful introduction, and a very good evening to all the participants. I can see that we have almost more than 128 participants here, because joining on a Sunday evening, having sacrificed a movie or something nice to watch, you are here to learn something very interesting. And I think as teachers, once a teacher, always a student. There is so much to learn, and I'm very happy that Madam has also given you all the information regarding being a part of a professional organization like ELTAI, because I also strongly believe that though we all study, we share, and we are part of a larger group, being part of a professional development organization like ELTAI, there is so much for us to learn, to give, to take, to share. And I think we have all experienced such moments of sharing, taking, and giving at ELTAI, whether it is the conference, the webinar, the formal and the informal meetings. There is so much to learn, because everyone who is part of ELTAI is always growing up the professional ladder. And I'm really happy to be doing this inaugural webinar as part of the Learning Technology SIG of ELTAI. And it's a wonderful group of people who've taken up different roles. And this particular topic is also a brainchild of the entire group, I should say. There's so many modifications of the title. It has undergone a lot of brainstorming, and of course, we finalized it quickly. And here is the webinar for you. So thank you, Dr. Shema. And I will start sharing my screen. I can see that there is wide participation across the nation, maybe and beyond. So let us start learning how AI-powered gamification can be very useful in the language classroom, because I strongly believe that whether it is AI or gamification or any kind of learning technology is not just for STEM teachers. Language teachers who are highly creative have their own way of tweaking it and using it in their classroom. I hope that all of you will agree with this. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Patil, for that thumbs up. Okay, let me share my screen. But before that, what we are going to do is, we are trying to go and, kind of play something. I will share a link with you now. Yeah, let me just share a link with you where we will just start the warm-up with a very small game, because this entire session is called as gamification. So we should be able to play a game to see how engagement works in our own classroom. So I will show what kind of a game that we are going to play now, how to create that link. But first, let me just share a link with you in the chat box. Maybe the first 20 people who join. Yeah. So there is a link in the chat box now. If you can click the link, yes, you will reach a page. Yes. You will reach a page, and in this particular page, I will just share the page with you now. So I can see that many of you have joined. So let us see what is happening. So you can see this particular, you can see this particular there. A lot of you have, many of you have already started playing the game. No instructions were given. I did what you have to do, but there is so much of movement. So yeah, great. Excellent. Okay, so CK is active. Okay, we have Sish. Anu is also very active on the jigsaw board. Excellent, Shan. Okay, so Sam Tabu has many pieces. Mhm. Okay, so you can. Kini has joined again. Sish is putting a lot of pieces together. Okay. You can see this is a very simple game. So Jinali, okay. Excellent, Sish. Feroz Begum is moving the pieces very quickly. Okay, so all the corner pieces we can join first. I think the puzzle is almost done. It's only a matter of, okay. Excellent. Just a couple more seconds. Great going there. Very good, Shalom. Anu is there and so there goes the last piece of the puzzle and we are done. And we are done. Excellent. Okay. So here you can see how a simple jigsaw puzzle was done quickly by all the participants. Now I have a question to you. So on a scale of 10, like 0 to 10, how engaged were you while you were playing this game on a scale of 10, 10 being the highest? Can you please put in the chat box how engaged you felt as you were playing this kind of a puzzle? You can put it in the chat. I can see that you played. Okay, I can see the responses. I can see numbers from 8, 10, 8, okay, 9. So I can see that the engagement level is very high. Now, this is the secret of gamifying your class. You can see how I used it as a very small warm-up, right? Are you interested in knowing how to use this puzzle in your classroom also? Give me a thumbs up. I'll show you how to do this. Okay, so Joseph, Felix, Amrita. Okay, I can see a lot of thumbs up. So let me just show you this particular page. See, all the websites, whatever I'm going to show you, all the tools that I'm going to show you today, they are mostly free. And please understand, I am not endorsing or, kind of showing you these websites. There is no reason. It is just an educational website. And please feel free to use them. Okay, so here is this particular website. It is called the Jigsaw Explorer. Okay, yeah, this is jigsawexplorer.com. I am also sharing this particular link in the classroom, right? I'm using it, I've shared the link in this particular chat box as well. So here you can see that there are many pictures. Of course, I use this particular picture. You can pick any one, okay? So imagine you have just chosen this now, okay? And then what happens is you can click on play this puzzle. The moment you click on play this puzzle, what happens is you can see this particular page. And on this page, you can see that the number of pieces that you want. So, maximum you can use, maybe you want to allow 40 players or you want to allow 20 players in your class or 30 players. You can just reduce the number of players and you can change the color palette, that is the background, right? Yeah, you can change that. And if you want the picture to be seen on the screen, you can bring the picture on the screen as well by clicking on this particular icon. And then what happens is you want to make it into a multiplayer game. So when you want to make it a multiplayer game, what you can do is you can create a game link. You can see that a game link is being created and this link can be copied and it can be pasted. You can generate a QR code, or you can just show it on the screen for your students, and then they can also log in and they can play. So the moment you copy the link, you can paste it anywhere. So this is just a very, it's a very basic kind of a warm-up activity that we can try and do. Is it free? Yes, this is free. And at the premium level, you can also use your own pictures, right? Whether it is a story, whether it is any kind of, in a STEM class, if you're using, you can use even an experimental setup or a structure of an atom. They can put it together. It can be cross curriculum. So this game is not AI powered. This is a very simple game, but you can use pictures that are generated by AI that is suiting your purpose, and that picture can be made into a jigsaw puzzle. I can see a lot of questions coming up. I'm just tempted to clarify doubts then and there, but I know it is also, we will have to proceed with the slides that I have prepared. So let us just start the session. Here you can see that, I have started sharing my slides. Okay. So AI-powered gamification in ESL classrooms. Yeah, let me just close my puzzle. Yes, I have closed it. So there are several jigsaw explorers that we can try, several images that we can try with students. Of course, to generate the image, all of us know whether it is a simple tool like ChatGPT or using Perplexity, and there are many advanced tools where you can create. Of course, Meta AI, which is inside our WhatsApp, can also create pictures that are relevant to the context of whatever you are teaching. Okay. Is it mobile accessible? Yes, it is mobile accessible too. So what we will have to do now is, Alvin Toffler, one of his very famous texts, talks about the future shock. He says that the illiterates of the century are not going to be people who cannot read or write, but people who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. See, all of us, starting with the, whether it is the printing press or the typewriting machine or the all the desktop publishing, the DTP that we learned, all the MS Office. Today, we are at a very important crossroads of technology and education, where we are trying and work with artificial intelligence in almost all the spheres of our day-to-day activities. So it is important that we are always open to learn, to unlearn some of our old habits, and also to relearn fresh habits, right? So the agenda for today, we will just try and cover these areas. We will try and understand how gamification basically works and what is this AI integration into gamification. And then we will also see how research findings have shown the impact that this particular phenomenon has made on ESL. And also, I will be sharing a lot of AI gamified tools and also platforms. I realize that it is 6:22 already, and this will be an hour's webinar, which means that I will be opening and showing you all the websites, but then you will have to try and explore, because once you get into the website and create a game and work it out, we will need a lot of time for that. And then specifically, I will talk about how to implement these in the ESL classroom, and then we can question and answer session, right? So this will be the structure of today's session. The first thing that shocks us when we look at the classrooms these days is the kind of demotivation that we see in the learners, right? Whether it is language learning or learning any kind of a subject, we can see that learners are more like, oh, I know this already. When I have it on my phone, why should I bother listening to the lecture? Or, I don't want to participate in the classroom. You can see that students are all isolated. Earlier, the classrooms used to be so noisy before the teacher enters the class. But these days, if you see, the moment the teacher leaves the class, everyone is just they are engrossed, they are immersed in their own devices, and they are just scrolling, or they are watching something on their phones. So there is a kind of a delinking and demotivation that is happening in the classroom, and sometimes this happens when the teacher is lecturing also. So there was a recent Harvard research study that was done, and this particular study said it was trying to see when the brain was highly active in the campus, in the university campus. But then they found that, so they had these students who were wired, and they found that the brain activity increased when the students were inside the classroom. Okay, now this was very shocking, and then the entire teaching system has to be revamped, and that particular research brought in lot of comments, and many researchers started wondering why is brain activity very less inside the classroom. So I think gamification can also be very interesting, and especially, of course, when it comes to language teaching, right? When it comes to language teaching, gamification can be a great tool, because most of our students, when they are inside the language classroom, they think it is not a subject that has to be seriously pursued or focused on. But we know very well that when we create opportunities for communication, right? We all focus on CLT or communicative language teaching. Games can provide an excellent platform where they can work together, whether it is a vocabulary game, a simple vocabulary game, or whether it is a writing game. We can create gamified lesson plans. And to create these gamified lesson plans, we can take the power of AI also. So this is the basic definition that we will have to think about. Of course, gamification refers to the application of game mechanics, right, and dynamics in non-game contexts to enhance engagement, to enhance motivation, and also to enhance learning. See, we are all focusing on an outcome-based pedagogy these days. So any kind of a non-game context, if you can just think about your childhood, our parents would have told us when a very simple thing, a non-game context, like helping our mother in the household chores, like just shelling peas, the green peas, when they used to give us. I still remember my mother used to tell me, okay, whoever fills this small bowl first can go and play. So we will, my brother and myself, we would do it with such engagement, and we will do, I will be the first to go out, let me just do it, let me do it even faster. So if you see, very quickly, the bowls will be full, and my mother would have got the job done, and we will be thinking, oh, I won the game, and we will run out of the house. So it is a totally non-game context. You can see how our mothers turned it into a highly gamified activity for us, and we never thought about, oh, mother is getting work done from us. We only thought, I have to be first, I have to run out to play first, right? That is why the motivation is more to complete the task, and the outcome is also accomplished. When we talk about gamification, these are certain key elements. These are certain words that we will have to know: points, badges, leaderboards, challenges, narrative, and immediate feedback. So all this is part of any kind of a gamified lesson. And believe me, all these things can be kind of, incorporated in any lesson virtually, and there are a lot of tools to do all this. So as I told you earlier, these are all the keywords. You would have seen this picture many times when you talk about gamification. User engagement. That is why all of you gave 8, 9, 10, right? When you were playing a game, how engaged were you? 8, 9, 10, you said, right? And the motivation to complete the task. None of you wanted to just leave the puzzle and go, right? Of course, there was no reward for you, but still we thought completing the task itself is a reward. You achieved something. And then there is a challenge, right? So the challenge has to be appropriate. Most of us entered into the flow state because we saw the picture and we wanted to complete the picture. And learning becomes part of the entire process, right? So this is a picture to just describe gamification is all about. Now, before trusting that gamification can be used for language learning, I strongly believe that we should know how learning happens, right? Whether it is language or any other subject for that matter, when we discuss pedagogy, we always believe that learning is nothing but a change in neural connections through experience, right? Like a child knows that the stove is too hot to touch, right? The fire, you cannot touch it because it is going to hurt you. That is a neural connection you get through experience, and we don't do it now. So this kind of a synaptic plasticity, that the neurons that fire together are wired together. So when they know that when they do this, they get a reward. You know, all of us know, whether it is Skinner or Pavlov's experiments, we know. So there are three key processes which happens in gamification. The first one is attention, what gets noticed, right? The moment I opened that Jigsaw Explorer and I gave you the link, I did not even give you instructions. I did not tell you, you can see a picture in the background, all of you have to participate, you need to put the pieces together till you get the whole picture, right? Your attention happened, you noticed it, and you started working on it. And then encoding, right? How it is stored. The moment you saw it, you understood, okay, this is a jigsaw puzzle. I know how to work around it because I just have to stick the pieces. And then retrieval. Now, I showed you the link. So next time when you want to work on it, you will retrieve the image or you will create something like that and you will play. This is how learning happens, right? So it's very important for us to remember this. Another key area which makes gamification indispensable in learning at some level is dopamine, right? See, when we attend a webinar and we get a certificate, we feel very good. We share it on our LinkedIn. When we achieve something, we just put it on our status. See, during these holidays, we've had some 4 or 5 days holidays. We've seen how people have done various things, whether if they've gone to a theme park and had fun with their family, you see those pictures. And when you get the heart symbol or a thumbs up in your WhatsApp, again, dopamine is released because it's called the brain's reward chemical. How do we feel when we see our name as the first on a leaderboard, right? All this is dopamine, and that is why students are so engaged when it comes to using gamification. And every achievement or progress, it triggers dopamine. That dopamine makes attention and persistence to rise. Right? So gamification taps directly into this, and we can have small rewards. When I talk about small rewards, I'm not talking about chocolates, or I'm not talking about anything like we used to have in the, in our school days. But today, a virtual badge, that can become a small reward. I still remember, when I was a child, they used to give us these first rank holder badges. I'm talking about class 5, 6, 7. So usually we carry our lunch to school, but on these days when we know that the badges are going to be given, because they will say, please do not be absent because tomorrow is your rank holder badge distribution day. It will be a second rank or the third rank, a simple plastic in which it will be written first rank holder, second rank holder. So we used to, clip it on our uniform. And that particular day, I will ask my mother to bring lunch because I want to show it to her, right? There is no big reward or nothing is happening, but I just want to see me wearing the badge. And, that brings in a lot of satisfaction to students. And I'm talking about 5th standard, 6th standard, or even class 11 and 12, they do these same things. That is very important because this mimics the dopamine loops, right? That is happening while we are learning also. And one more thing is gamification is not just playing games, right? Even this role play that we do in our classroom, when students come to the stage and when they start performing, when they start speaking, right? That is why it is called a role play. It is not like gamification is not simply playing games, but then it is using these game elements to enhance learning motivation. Now it works because of instant feedback. So I've already told you that. Repetition will always strengthen neural pathways, and rewards will trigger dopamine release, and immediate feedback will accelerate learning. So these things are very important for us. And how gamification also involves storytelling, because this will also activate emotional center. All of us know that learning is a cognitive activity, but there is also a larger role of the affective factor, right? When we like a subject so much, when we like a teacher, we start putting in lot of effort and attention, right? And then challenge. This also keeps the prefrontal cortex alert. Whenever there is a challenge, we are like, oh my God, now I'll have to really focus because I'm not understanding this part. So when we talk about a gamified lesson, these are all the steps. Okay, when you are trying to create a lesson, whether it is the learning objective, understanding the level of your students. Now imagine in class 5, when I'm teaching vocabulary, I will have to choose a vocabulary list that is age appropriate, right? There are so many AI tools these days which are asking what is the level of your student, right? What kind of language proficiency do they have? On the CEFR level, where will you put them? And based on that, activities are being created. Okay, so assessment and reward can also be incorporated, and then you can also reflect and you can iterate the same. So here we move on to this particular section where I'm just giving you a whole list of gamification tool. Of course, we know that quizzes has become way ground today. And earlier, when you take quizzes, what happens is you will have to add the MCQs. You will have to keep an MS Word. From that, you will have to copy the question and the options. But today, it is AI powered. And when I say AI powered, what do I mean? You can simply generate, right? You can very easily generate a quiz using the AI feature. I'm sure all of you must be using Canva. Earlier in Canva, you will have some templates and you will tweak those templates, right? You will say, let me just change the font, let me change the words, and you will create something. But today you have the AI feature in Canva also. So based on your instruction, it will create a template for you. It will create any kind of design that you want, right? So Wayground with AI integration, it has become Wayground. I'm sure that all of you have seen this particular website, right? I'm just trying to open and show it to you. Yeah. So quizzes is now Wayground, and so you can see that there are various ways in which you can use. Yeah. So earlier you will have to go and create something, step by step. But today you can easily create a particular resource. So what do you want to create? You want to create any kind of an assessment or a presentation, right? So if you click assessment, you have so many options here: import worksheets and questions, create from scratch, or you want to generate with AI, right? So generate with AI, so you can still give a document, ask them to use that particular document, and then the questions are generated, or you simply give a text or a prompt. So here you can see, the moment you give a particular topic. Now say for example, you are just going to give them some prepositions, right? And then you can also select the standards. Yeah. You can do this if you just want to create, AI powered, and then you can see how number of questions, automatic, subject and grade. If you want to make it English, and it can be first grade, or it can also be professional development, university. And when you try to continue, you can see that select up to 10 subtopics. Yeah, you can see how there are various prepositional exercises that they can do. Now I can just give them any 3, and then I can ask them to, or I can also ask them, I can also add a subtopic here, and I can ask them to generate a quiz. So it might take up to a minute, they say, and very soon the quiz is ready, right? I'm sure that all of you would have played all these quizzes. So AI actions, they've said, you can also create a question now, or you can add from library. The moment you are publishing it, yeah, and it is ready to be played with students. So you can see how you can start it now, and the moment you start it, whether it is student-based or teacher-led, right? So the moment you do it, of course, you can see how there is a mastery peak, there is a test mode, there is a classic. Students can repeat questions to achieve mastery, having fun with mountain climbing and mini games, they say, right? And so you can also start this particular quiz. You can see that there are various settings that you can. There is also anti-cheating because when we use AI, that is one concern that all of us have. And the moment you start the quiz, I'm sure that many of you would have already, played this kind of a quiz. And if you are going to start it, there is a link that you can copy. I'm just sharing it in the chat box now. Yeah. And let me just start this. Yeah. If some of you are joining, we can start this quiz. Yeah. I can see that some of you have joined. 2 of you have joined. Okay, yeah, many are joining now. Let me start the quiz. Of course, I've put it as a student. Coming in. You can also see the visuals. You can see how we are climbing the mountain. 80% mastery. Learn the question of all climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. So you can see the number of questions are reattempted, right? Reattempted mastery. There is 2 anti-cheating like learn the music of it. Yeah, or I can also keep it on just for fun. So I can very quickly see how many people are, achieving mastery very soon. 80% mastery. Okay, so there are various modes like this. There is another tool called BlueKit. I will just open and show it to you. There, if you see, there are so many games, whether it is like the Battle Royale or many other settings which can be used to play these games. Okay, so we can see that 29 questions are reattempted. Now that is indeed very good. Okay. So Wayground has recently introduced how AI can be integrated, and they have introduced various kinds of game formats, and of course Mastery Peak is one. Earlier it used to be a very simple game format. So you can see the leaderboard as well. You can see the students who are in diamond tier, gold, and silver, right? So you are falling under various categories. And of course, based on the number of questions, we will have our, the time for this particular game will also. Okay, so you can see that many students are moving ahead. 42 questions have been reattempted. And let us see who are all attaining mastery today. And see the level of engagement when you are working on it. Any kind of topic can be given, whether it is preposition, you can even test idioms and phrases, you can review, you can do it as a warm-up, right? For practice, as a formative assessment in the class. Okay, so here we can see 53 questions are being reattempted and 1 person has already attained mastery. Very good. Okay, that's nice to know. So 80% mastery. 54 questions have been reattempted. And then you can see how, okay. You can also see the leaderboard. Now I can also end the game. Yes, so somebody has already reached the peak. Anushya Manivendan, yeah. Excellent, Anushya. Okay, for want of time, I'm just ending this game. I'm so sorry, but you can always try it later. Are you sure you want to end the quiz? Yes, I want to end the quiz. So here you can see how the leaderboard comes. Top scorers are here. Congratulations to all the top scorers. Excellent. go through all that. And you can also see the learning analytics. Now, learning analytics is one area which gamifications gives us, because as teachers, we are also expected to be, learning analysts, where we can use the data. That is when our assessments become data-driven and research endorsed, which is very important for teachers. Okay, let me move ahead with my slides. Okay, I'm really sorry. I can see that the time is 6:45 and we are done only with one in the list. Okay, so Kahoot, I'm sure many of you will know it. Quizlet, Educa Play, Genially, you can see all these tools. Okay, do we have anybody in the group who has tried these tools? And you can just put the name of the tool in the chat box. Just put the name of the tool which you have used in the class. Okay, Dr. Vinod, it didn't work for you. I'm really sorry about it. Okay, Kahoot, Quizlet, Wakelet, Kahoot, okay, Quizlet, Vagrant, okay, Nearpod, excellent. WordWall, okay. So you can see that gamification is already in our practice, in our teaching practice. Quizlet in Corona time. Okay, nice to know. So you have a whole list which you can try, and the sky is your limit. You can try error clarification, error spotting, grammar, any kind of a grammar activity. So you can try and work on all these things. I would also like to show you, different other websites also, where we are talking about, there is this Blookit, which I told you. Now let me just try and so now, for example, yeah, so there is this other so you can, let me just share this tab. So this is Blookit, and it works with Khan Academy. So you can also see the Khanami Go icon there, and you can try it. You can simply generate questions with this. Okay. You can just sign into Khan Academy and you can try and work on that. Just give me a moment. Yeah, so when you go into Blookit generator, so any kind of topic, I'm just giving verbs. Okay, if you have any learning objectives, these are the mandatory areas which I have shared. And if you have any instructions, you can also give instructions. So it is generating these questions for you, and it is asking you if these questions are okay. What type of verb requires a direct object? Now, of course, I did not give too many instructions asking it to create activities where it is going to be an MCQ or a true or false or a sentence correction. So I'm simply going to say, yeah, this question works for me. Which type? Of course, these are all very theoretical questions regarding verb. I'm just saying, okay, let it be. And then I'm asking it to export to Blookit. I've just taken 3 questions. Yeah. So here you can see the questions have come up, and I'm going to give. Now I'm going to host this game. So when I'm hosting this game, you can see how there are several modes in which I can play this game, right? Whether it is a gold quest, whether it is a fishing frenzy, crypto hack, tower defense, right? These are all very popular games which our students are already playing, right? So you can see. Or a racing game, okay? So when you click this, you can try and host this game. So if you want, you can host it. So here are the racing settings. Please read them carefully, and based on that, you can host the game. Okay. Here is the game ID. Copy the joining link. Okay. So the moment you join, you can also play this game. Of course, it is a racing game, so it's a little different. Okay, because it is 6:47 now. Okay, I'm just going to start the game. I'm just going to start the game, right?
Set, go!
So I've just given you a few questions and you have to answer that. You can see that participants, they are moving ahead based on the questions that they are answering. And this is also a very interesting game. So you can see that I did not type the question, I did not copy the questions, I just generated the questions. Okay, so this is also like a playground where we created. Okay, I'm really sorry, I'm going to stop that game now. I do not have enough time to play it. Okay, yeah. So, of course, word wall, some of you have given there already. Please try Flippity also. Educa Play is very interesting. You can create any kind of games in that particular website also using AI. So these are all the tools. I know that you will have to explore a lot and play, try and play it with your students. So now we have seen the culmination of two great technologies of our time. The first one is AI capabilities, what AI can do. It personalized, because I said it is for class 2, it is for class 10, it is for university level students, right? And you can also see mastery. Now, mastery is also integrated because you can reattempt the questions. Other than quiz-based gamification, what else can be done for 70 students on a free package subscription? Okay, there are many, I will also show you, there are many apps which can give speaking practice, right? Now that is very important. We will go to that. And of course, gamification benefits like engagement, motivation, retention. Now this is very important, low pressure practice. You are creating an environment that is safe, non-threatening, especially for a language student in the classroom. So I was mentioning how research also shows that there is an increase in class participation. There is also an improvement in vocabulary because retention happens better. And there is an enhanced emotional engagement. I think language learning is all about emotional engagement and expressing how you transfer your emotions through communication, right? And it is very effective for struggling learners, especially at lower proficiency levels. So I've already told you how dopamine works in learning, and we have seen how when we are playing this game, there is so much of interest. You are clicking the link, you are participating, you want to race, you want to come first on the leaderboard also. Now, what is happening when you are doing this? It is basic curiosity. There is an anticipation. The moment I, pasted the link, how many of you were thinking, can I do this? Right? You wanted to do it. Give me a thumbs up if you were thinking, can I do this? Shall I click on the link? Oh my God, my name will come up. Do I really want it? Yeah. So I can see a lot of thumbs up coming up. So this is the hook. Because in a gamified class, this becomes the hook. Action and effort is, of course, trying the challenge. See, you are not worried whether, that is why we have all these nicknames. You can simply give your initials or you can give your name when you are logging in. So trying the challenge is very important. And then, of course, comes success or feedback. So on the mastery mountain, we saw how each of you were climbing up. And then you can also see reinforcement happens, okay? Reinforcement happen, and this sustains learning and engagement, two important words when it comes to gamification. I see a lot of hands being raised, but I'm going to just raise with my content now. So when there were questions about what are the other platforms. So when you talk about these AI-powered gamified platforms, especially in ESL, please try and explore Duolingo Max. It gives you experience points, which is otherwise XP. You can have streaks, leaderboards, and you can also have very good explanations. There is also role play practice, both for speaking and for grammar. We can try this as well. And then you have something called Langley. Now, this is also a gamified English app with levels, daily quests, and AI feedback that is aligned to, it comes from OUP. And then you have something called as Lexibot. Lexibot, where this is also AI-powered gamified platform where we can create a lot of activities for vocabulary. Now, if you want to use classroom-based game platforms, of course, Kahoot, many of you have said. Playground, we have already seen. I also showed you Blookit, which is, multiple modes are there. Arcade-style game modes where we can have our students engaged. And then word wall also, right? Some word walls are there. You can even take a printout and you can use these kinds of tools. I did not show you Bamboozle. Bamboozle is an excellent gamified website where you can create lot of team-based review games, flashcards, and conduct lot of live competitions which can be adapted. Now, moving on to when we are talking about this, AI assistance, of course, many of us are using ChatGPT very comfortably, but today I know most of us have moved to Perplexity, whether it is Claude or Gemini. Most of our searches are also AI powered these days. I would like to share this activity that I did in a STEM class. So what I did was, this was environmental, I also work on eco-pedagogy a little. So as part of it, I created a game where students become environmental warriors. I show them a lake or a river which is polluted, right? And they have to work on how to make the river, come back to its original state. So it is a chemistry lesson basically. So how this river can be protected or how it can be saved. So this particular, activity, it had various levels, and students, they came up with very good ideas, which they presented at the last. The presentation was also part of the game, and we can use many leaderboards. Now, talking about leaderboards, let me show you one particular site. Yeah. So here is a site where we can create a leaderboard. Now, this is called as leaderboarded.com. Okay, it is called as leaderboarded.com. I'm just going to share the website with you in the chat box where you can create leaderboards in the classroom and also share it with your students. So coming back to this particular site, leaderboarded.com. So imagine you are creating a leaderboard. Okay, so what do you want to create? I want to create a leaderboard. Okay. So, of course, here, if you see, this is an annual subscription model that works. But then there are many other leaderboard trackers also. Let me just show you, the one that I created. Yeah. So this is called Class Quiz. Now, imagine my students are there. I can always edit these names, right? Now, say, for example, we have Jinali with us, right? I can also date participant, and I can add the points for her. Or now say, for example, Geeta has completed an assignment on time, or Geeta has made a very good presentation. So I'm giving 20 points, I'm adding some points. So automatically Geeta goes first, right? And so this is also a website which helps us in creating a leaderboard. I know that a few teachers from the Nashik region, they worked on this particular tool, and even for their one research project, how a leader for an entire SEM, they kept leaderboards for every student based on their language activities which they did, and they said there was healthy competition, and these kind of gamified leaderboards helped them in not only formatively assess their students, but also brought in good results in language learning as well. So that is something I wanted to share about leaderboard. Now coming back to the PPT. Gamisign. I don't know if you have checked this website. Please check this website, Gamisign. Now, this is an AI gamification builder. Okay, so again, this is a very good site that you can try, where you can create a lot of other activities also. So what are the effective game mechanics that we are talking about? Points. There are many sites where you can create virtual badges with the student's name, and you can post. Canva also gives you an option. You can create the virtual badge and you can post it in your WhatsApp group saying, this student has consistently attended all the assignments, submitted all the assignments. So there is, a point or a badge for that. I showed you leaderboard, and we also saw how lot of interactive quests can be created. In the Royal Battle, especially in Blookit, You can create interactive quests, and we saw immediate feedback. Who came first, who came second, we saw all these things. So when it comes to implementation, there are two phases, design phase and execution phase. When you are designing something, you will have to align your game objectives, right, with your language learning outcomes. Then you have to select the appropriate AI tool. Now, this is where we have to use our discretion as teachers, select the appropriate AI tool. And again, we can go to AI to ask for this kind of a doubt also. And you can create scaffolded activities, because not all learners are beginner or intermediate or advanced. So you can create these kinds of activities. Then you can introduce all the mechanics gradually. So slowly your students understand it is not only a game, but you are also learning language. And you can monitor participation via all the analytics in the dashboard. And you can adjust all the difficulty and rewards based on the students' progress. So please balance the competitive and collaborative elements. Please ensure that there is low pressure environment. Don't say that the person who comes first in this game is going to be rewarded 5 marks internal in their internals. Don't say that, because that might bring in too much pressure for the students. And use AI analytics to personalize learning paths. You constantly have to revise, review, and change the content based on the AI analytics, based on the kind of engagement. See, now I saw the re-attempted questions. Now, re-attempted questions means learning is happening. Reinforcement is happening. I'm very happy when I see the re-attempted questions, because somebody has not answered it correctly. They are going there for the second time and they are answering it correctly. That is reinforcement. So please pay attention to the AI analytics. And of course, regular, meaningful feedback, right? That is also very important. Of course, some common challenges are always there. Some teachers, there may be an over-reliance, which we should be very careful. Engagement gaps can happen. Not all. Digital divide is still a reality in India. Technological barriers and assessment validity. Don't think that you can just give a game and you can give marks for that. Formal evaluation should be combined with this. You can work on engagement metrics, you can work on the learning outcomes, motivation indicators, and derive a lot of data-driven insights. So when we are talking about the emerging trends, right? If you see, we are in 2026, but then there is something called adaptive learning. Differential instruction has been there for a long time, but then adaptive learning is something around the corner waiting for us. Immersive scenarios and also emotional AIs, right? If your motivation level dips, I think in Duolingo, you keep getting alerts to, are nudging you to come back into the system and play. So, yeah, this will be one of the closing slides. Key competencies of the AI-ready ESL teacher. We are all ESL teachers and we are all AI-ready. First of all, we'll have to be a digitally empathetic communicator, right? That is very important because we are working in AI-rich spaces these days. Gamification-oriented facilitator, because it helps in lowering anxiety and boosts confidence. Now, again, AR and VR is also another pedagogical strategy that is growing. So we should know we should explore these immersive learning design experiences. We should also be a data-informed AI user. We should know how to leverage tools, analytics, and try personalization as well. But according to me, this reflective practitioner researcher, that kind of tops it all. It is not only true for AI gamification, it is true for any other method we are trying in the class. So be a very reflective practitioner and a researcher. Always reflect in action, on action, right? It's very important. Of course, when we are using AI, we need to be an ethical AI steward where we are safeguarding the privacy, the honesty, and the fairness. And we should also be an instructional leader and advocate for sustainable AI-powered methods in gamification. So I think these are the key competencies that we should try and enhance, especially when it comes to 2026. We should all try and develop these competencies, right? I hope that the session was useful. Let me summarize quickly what all we have done. we saw that AI-powered gamification boosts engagement, right, and retention, especially in ESL. We also saw some platforms, which are available for teaching diverse components. There are many other platforms also. I only gave you a list for you to explore, and you can see that many activities can be incorporated. Multimodal activities. Of course, you need to have a very clear design and execution phase. You should have planned it, you should have tried it. So strategic implementation should be there, and data analytics, okay, that is also very important, because I know that even in Swayam, I offer this communication skills in English. There is one component where it is AI empowered feedback, AI powered feedback, where students can try for their own spoken language and pronunciation. We are working on it, and it will soon be incorporated. So there are various ways in which AI powered gamification can be used in a language classroom and in MOOCs also. So of course, you need to balance it with traditional pedagogical applications also. That is also very important. We cannot say that only gamification will work in my class. I always believe that traditional pedagogical strategies are very strong, and they will also help the learners to learn the language. So yes, thank you. I hope that the session was useful. I'm glad that you participated in most of the activities that we started, because learning technologies, they're a huge topic, and there are so many areas under learning technologies. And as students, they are demotivated. We'll have to bring engagement into the class. And I always believe that students are first-time learners, but teachers are lifelong learners, right? So in the path of lifelong learning, I'm sure that AI-powered gamification will also be a rich addition to our teaching toolkit. So thank you for your patience. I know that you must be having questions, and I'm very glad to take questions now.
There are a lot of questions. For some reason, I can't turn on my video. I tried exiting and coming back, so please listen to my own. There is Roshni. Roshni, would you like to ask your question?
Yeah, we have a Roshni who has raised her hand.
Yes. Roshni, was there a question or okay. All right, then let me just ask you this question that came in the chat box quickly, Shobha.
Yes.
There was someone who wanted to know if, other than assessment, you did mention passingly that speaking can also be a skill that is gamified. So in addition to assessment, are there language skills that can be taught or addressed using a gamified platform?
Okay. So when we are assessing, I think like I showed you how a game can be used as a warm-up. And then even in the learning phase, right? So we have the warm-up, and then the students are actually learning. Then we have the practice. Then we have the assessment. In each of these phases, we can gamify our lesson. We can gamify a small activity, and we can use it in our lesson. And for everything, there are tools. Of course, for writing, if you see, you can give direct feedback using any AI tool. Okay, so there are so many AI tools where writing feedback is immediately given. So I think every skill can be tested, and there are so many other platforms. Some of the platforms that I showed you also include both writing, speaking, and other skills as well.
True, yeah. True. Roshni and Samina, would any one of you like to ask your question quickly?
Okay.
Okay, Noor, yeah, you can read. No?
Noor asks,
please
tell us how I can create games. I'm going to read it as games.
Yes.
In my
teaching grammar is what Noor is asking. Demonstration. Yeah, yes. Go on, Shobha.
Yeah, just like Shema was also pointing out, most of the demonstrations I had given verbs, prepositions, vocabulary. So I don't think that, grammar is something that is very challenging to incorporate. Very easily using these AI-powered gamified platforms, so we can give any topic for, in grammar, and we can get it done.
Yes. Samina has a question. This is mostly to do with how would we engage a mixed ability ESL classroom? Because she says when individual gaming fosters competition, anxiety, and frustration in performers, how exactly do you deal with that in a classroom?
Okay, yeah. I think whether it is traditional teaching method or gamified classroom, making the teaching inclusive is always in the hands of the teacher, right? Not in the hands of technology. So we will have to find ways where we strike a balance in a heterogeneous classrooms by having all kinds of questions and based on the prompt, right? When you are giving the prompt, when you are able to instruct the AI tool that your class is very heterogeneous, you need questions that addresses every level, right? I think you will be able to give questions where all students are able to participate, and there's engagement from different groups of students, because I know that language proficiency is different even in a single classroom.
Yeah. I think there's a question on literature, and I think we will merge the two, storytelling and literature. Can you do storytelling, literature, and other aspects of a language class through gamification?
Sure. I'm sure you would have heard about something called as Mad Libs, right? There are a lot of gamified platforms which use Mad Libs in creating stories, where you just give them a few words, and based on those words and based on the options that you pick, a storyline is created. So storytelling can definitely be incorporated into gamification, because when I spoke about creating a gamified lesson, the narrative arc becomes important. If you see the mastery peak, all of us were climbing the peak, and the one who attains becomes the winner. Similarly, if you see, when we are talking about the river cleaning challenge, that also has a narrative arc, because you see your river in your city. It can be the Ganga, Yamuna. You show the picture of Yamuna, where the froth, the fishermen are still getting their job done, in that frothy river, and how this affects the common man, the consumer. So you create, and what happens to a very a routine fisherman who does, and how his life is affected. So these kind of narrative arcs have to be created, and they can be incorporated. There are many tools for that also. Okay, talking about teaching literature. Okay, that is an interesting question, and that is a question that I also haven't explored much, but I'm sure that there must be a way. And with AI powered, I think sky is the limit. We can either imagine, or we can ask AI to imagine how in a literature class gamification can be done. And I'm sure that there must be ways. There are a lot of other websites where they have created these kinds of games. I have seen a couple of papers written, especially keeping Shakespeare's plays, how it can be gamified, and how students move to different levels. Because if you take a play of Shakespeare, there are so many characters, there are so many twists and turns. So I think for you to reach the climax, you will have to gamify the lesson, and you have to move. Now, this can be picked for any poem or any kind of novel also.
Yeah, I think we will end the question answer session here. There are a couple of questions on if you can help them develop a teaching methodology. I suppose, do you think it's okay for them to get in touch with you later, Shobha, on maybe a list of tools we could share through the ELTAI website, perhaps, because it's already 10 minutes past our time. So I really, really wish I could turn on my video, because I am really thankful to you, Shobha, for doing this. Thank you very much. On behalf of the Learning Technology Special Interest Group of ELTAI, I extend my sincere thanks, the team's sincere thanks to Dr. Shobha Kane for her insightful and engaging session on AI-powered gamification in ESL classrooms. Your clear articulation of engagement, in fact, demonstration of engagement, pedagogic design, and meaningful classroom integration have offered us valuable takeaways, for all of us from different contexts. We would also like to thank all the participants for their active presence and contributions, which made this inaugural LT-SIG webinar a big success, I must say. We look forward to your continued engagement with ELTAI and the LT-SIG in future events. We have shared the form for both ELTAI membership and the LT-SIG membership. So we hope to see you all at our later webinars as well. Thank you so much. The feedback forms are shared in the chat box. Please fill them. And like we said at the beginning, it will take up to 10 days for you to receive your certificates. And for anything else, of course, yes, feel free to email info@eltai.in. And Mr. Banu, can we request them to turn on the videos so that we could click?
Yes, ma'am.
And me, I'm sorry, I can't. I have to be. Yes, so can you all turn your videos on so we click a picture? And all the more valuable because, it's our inaugural webinar and we have Dr. Shobha with us for the inaugural webinar. Yes. So please turn on your videos.
Not able to.
The WhatsApp group. Okay, the videos, let's see. Okay. Let me try my video again.
బయటకు పోయి వస్తుందిరా అందరూ అలా వీడియోకి.
Can we turn on the video now, Manu?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah. Can we turn on our videos, please? Please turn on your videos. We will take a quick screenshot. Yeah. Thank you. Is that done? Thank you very much again. Thank you, people. Please remember to complete the feedback form. Please remember to submit your feedback form and see you all again at the next ELTAI webinar. Thank you again, Shobha, Dr. Shobha.
Thank you all, and keep gamifying your lessons.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Thank you.
This has been immensely useful, yes, and engaging. Thank you, people. Thank you, everybody.